बहुत शुक्रिया साद रबानी साहब, इतनी मेहरबानी की आपने, इतने अच्छे कलमात फरमाए। काश कि मेरी बीवी होती इस वक्त सुनने के लिए। ये ऐसे मौक़े पे बहुत कम आती हैं, वो पता है उनको कि सारी बातें गलत किस्म की गुमराह कुन बातें बताई जाएंगी। But Venus, Phoebe, where have you hidden yourself? Both of you and your colleagues deserve congratulations for all the good work you have done in such a short time. It's a privilege with Ms. Vikaji and myself to be here, but it's a very informative experience to come here and to see the charming works of art out there which I discovered before walking in, and to learn in this short but very revealing presentation what commitment and what determination and courage is being applied by this very small but very unusual team with a very distinctive name, Creative Headquarters. My God, you can actually have a headquarters for creativity, which is very motivational for me at least, that you can look at a certain point and say, this is a focal point for the force and the genesis of creative endeavor. I've been asked to inflict some thoughts on you about the subject of women, art and social change. तो इससे कबल के मैं इस मौजू पर आप पर मुसल्लत करूं कुछ मेरे गैर कीमती ख्यालात, जनावाला के हवाले से मैं दो नुकात पर सिर्फ जिक्र करना चाहता हूं। एक, पहले तो मैं ये कह दूं कि मैं शदीद मजम्मत करता हूं, जैसे भारी अक्सरियत पाकिस्तानी अवाम की उसकी शदीद मजम्मत कर चुकी है, और अगर आपने नहीं भी सुना, आप यकीन कर सकते हैं कि कोई ऐसी बात की हिमायत नहीं करता, अलावा कुछ सरफिरे लोग जो सिर्फ इस मुल्क में नहीं, हर मुल्क में, हर आबादी में कुछ ऐसे गाफिल आपको पाए जाएंगे। ये इंसानियत का एक कीड़ा है, एक बीमारी है। जहन में हमेशा बाज लोगों के इस तरह के ख्यालात या जज्बात रहते हैं, लेकिन भारी अक्सरियत पाकिस्तानियों की इस मिजाज के साथ कोई उनका रिश्ता नहीं। और मैं ये बात क्यों कहता हूं? अगर सियासी एतबार से आप देखें तो 1970 से लेकर 2018 तक 11 इंतखाबात हुए हैं, 11 general elections in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Not in a single general election have the illiterate, only partly educated, uneducated people of Pakistan, poor people, never have they ever given more than 7 or 8% of the vote to religious parties, or to even forget religious parties. No extremist religious party has ever received the mandate. Only once in 76 years, a coalition was formed in 2002 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, at that time NWFP, MMA ke naam se. What does that reflect? It reflects the fact that even though the vast majority, 97% are Muslim in this country, actually Islam is respectful of other religions. In practice, we may not show it, but we are instinctively more respectful than what one would expect. Secondly, every day, tens of thousands of Muslim families throughout the country, large cities, medium towns, even peri-rural areas, they send their Muslim children to Christian missionary schools and colleges because they respect the quality of education imparted by these Christian institutions. None of them suspect that by sending our innocent children to these Christian schools, they'll lose faith in Islam. They have confidence that the Christian community is so respectful in turn of other religions that they trust and respect, whether it's Catholic schools, whether it is Protestants. For 2 years I've had the privilege of being a student of St. Patrick's College, and Father Diabro was one of the most remarkable individuals in my life. So, to the credit of the people of Pakistan, their temperament is not reflected in Jallianwala. However, that does not mean we should become complacent. There is a great need for reform, for change, for effective enforcement of the law, and for not going on retreating in the face of these extremists and fanatics who are obsessed with, first of all, women, which brings me to the subject of this discussion. Women, art and social change. ये पता नहीं इनको क्या फिक्र है, औरत इनकी फिक्सेशन है कि बस औरत को दिखना नहीं चाहिए, औरत को पर्दा करना चाहिए, औरत को बुर्खे में रहना चाहिए, ये फहाशी है और ये फलाना है। लेकिन उसके बावजूद देखें, शुक्र है हमारे ज़राए इब्लाग में, हमारे टेलीविजन में, हमारे सिनेमा में, बाज़ दफ़ा हमारे प्लेज में भी, बाज़ दफ़ा मैं इसलिए कहता हूँ क्योंकि थिएटर इज़ नॉट एज वाइड स्प्रेड इन पाकिस्तान एज इट शुड बी। कराची, लाहौर, हैदराबाद, इस्लामाबाद में है, बट दूसरी जगहों पे बड़ा महदूद है। तो women are visible at the same time. But women, art and social change की जब बात होती है, 3 इतनी बुनियादी ये पहलू हैं जिंदगी के, औरत, आर्ट और समाजी तब्दीली। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम बात कर रहे हैं इतनी बुनियादी बातों की, जैसे हवा, आप सांस लिए बगैर 3 मिनट से ज्यादा जी नहीं सकते। इसी तरह नागुज़ीर है खातून, औरत। जिंदगी को मकसद देने के लिए औरत के बगैर जिंदगी क्या मुमकिन है, सवाल ही नहीं पैदा होता। तो woman could be the very basis for life, because not only does she bear life, she brings life into the world. And art is as vital as water. You can't survive more than a few days without water. Art in all senses of the term. Arts, performing arts or written art or poetic art or whatever. And social change. अब समाजी तब्दीली इतना वसी मौजू है कि उसको मुख्तसर कर encapsulate करना मुश्किल है. But let me take another perhaps 7 or 8 minutes to impose on you to elaborate what I mean. कि इनके बारे में कोई सिंगुलैरिटी के साथ हमें बात नहीं करनी चाहिए. इसलिए मैं गुस्ताखी करता हूं सोचने का कि जब हम खवातीन कहते हैं या औरत कहते हैं, तो औरत के कुछ पहलू तो एक यूनिवर्सल पहलू है. हर जगह औरत, सारी दुनिया में हो, पाकिस्तान में हो. लेकिन हम बात कर रहे हैं पाकिस्तान की. लेकिन पाकिस्तान में भी कोई सिंगुलैरिटी नहीं है ऑफ विमेन. The women who live in the rural areas, in the villages, in the hamlets of Pakistan, and in the different provinces, they face very different conditions from this beautiful luxury of Napa. और खुशकिस्मत हूं मैं कि मैं उनके साथ काम करता हूं, देखता हूं, उनसे मिलता हूं, तो एहसास होता है चारों सूबों की हमारी खवातीन की खूबसूरती, उनका मुखलिस होकर लगन के साथ मेहनत करना. वाह, अपने हाथों से, अपने पसीने से, न सिर्फ माँ, न सिर्फ बहन, न सिर्फ नानी, दादी, not just bringing up the home, cooking, looking after the livestock, गाय, भैंस, माल मवेशी, फसल काटना. Incredible. And that life, and I'm not underestimating the value of the urban woman, और urban women में भी एक ही किस्म की urban woman नहीं है. There is the middle class, lower middle class, upper middle class in the urban areas, and each have their own professions, their own temperaments, their own social pressures. लेकिन जहां भी खवातीन काम करती हैं, देहात में तो मेरी राय में, even if a woman doesn't have the luxury or the opportunity to create a painting or to compose music, she is an artist. a illiterate, uneducated, even bichari unhealthy woman, because she has to face such high levels of malnutrition, is an artist. जिस अंदाज में वो जन्म देती है बच्चों को, परवरिश करती है, हाथों से मेहनत करती है, I mean, she is truly an artist. और अगर वो कुछ कपड़ों को सिए, कुछ एम्ब्रॉयडरी करे, कुछ चीजों को बनाए अपने हाथों से, जो कि बहुत बनाती हैं, she is creating this connection between art and craft. She is making craft into an art. And you see that all around the country. बहुत लुत्फ आता है उनसे मिलकर, उनको देखकर, उनकी हिम्मत पर। चाहे बलूचिस्तान में तुर्बत हो, चाहे केपी में स्वाबी हो, चाहे शांतिनगर हो पंजाब में, चाहे थरपारकर में नगर पारकर हो। वाह, क्या खवातीन है हमारी। लेकिन हमारी कुछ शहरों में भी कम नहीं, और बहुत अच्छे उसके मिसाल यहाँ तशरीफ रखते हैं। Whether it is Miss Vika ji, who will be speaking later, an accomplished author, or those who I do not recognize individually here, Nikat Mayat hai. Each of you in your respective professions, whether as a teacher, as a medical doctor. I know we have a medical doctor here who has just created one of those very charming paintings there. And she's a medical practitioner, a gynecologist, who's also an artist. We have bankers, we have financial experts. The Minister of Finance of the caretaker government is a woman. Pakistan is the first country in the world to have a Muslim woman Prime Minister, with whom I had the privilege of serving in her first cabinet. A remarkable capacity to produce these extraordinary women. The Surgeon General of the Pakistan Army today, otherwise a male-dominated institution, is a woman. A Lieutenant General, a woman, is Surgeon General of the Pakistan Army, the highest that the medical profession can reach in the army. So, एक तरफ हमारी वो excellence है, visibility in media, visibility in marketing, in advertising, education, teachers at all levels, vice chancellors. And yet at the same time, in these very cities, there is a deprivation. There is lack of recognition of their rights. There are parts of Karachi which are rural areas where women are not allowed to step out of their houses. The ruralization of cities has taken place as much as the urbanization of rural areas. So that paradox continues. And then there is the specific field of art. Look at the brilliant women we have produced as painters, as poets. Yesterday on this very stage, Professor Alia Imam spoke so outstandingly on the great poet Josh Maliabadi. Wah, wah, wah. I have not heard as scintillating a lecture and an analysis of Josh Sahab's poetry as I heard from Professor Alia Imam, a young woman well into her 70s, so even a higher level of excellence. So, in virtually every field, in what we call art, directors of films, amongst them my humble daughter, Javed Jabbar, Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy, so many others. Duriya Kazi, who writes so splendidly a column every second week in Dawn. So, those are the conventional way we describe art. That is art. But in my humble view, as I said, a village woman who has never written a poem is also an artist. And a woman who in today's Pakistan manages to establish her credentials as an individual, not because she's a woman, but as an individual, she's also an artist. Now, lastly, does that mean social change? Yes, some art can impact social change. जैसे औरत देहात में रहने वाली, कम आमदनी वाली, लोअर मिडिल क्लास, अगर वो अपनी मेहनत से कुछ बनाए और उससे कुछ कमाए, जो कि बहुत हजारों लाखों खवातीन इस वक्त कर रही हैं, तो दैट इज ब्रिंगिंग अबाउट सोशल चेंज। वो बाइख्तियार हो रही है, खुद मुख्तार हो रही है, पैसे कमा रही है। BISP में उसको पैसे मिल रहे हैं तो खवातीन को मिल रहे हैं, हम बदमाश मर्द को नहीं मिल रहे हैं, होपफुली। तो social change is taking place, not at the speed perhaps at which we think it should, but it is happening. And connectivity, my God, the proliferation of phones. An illiterate woman now has numerical literacy. She knows how to use her cell phone, even though she doesn't know ABCD. She's developed this capacity. और साथ साथ माशाल्लाह 2 करोड़ बच्चे स्कूल ही नहीं जाते, जिसमें मेजॉरिटी लड़कियों की है, जिस द ग्रेटेस्ट ट्रेजेडी दैट पाकिस्तान हैज एवर फेस्ड। व्हाट अ ब्लॉट ऑन अस। 2 करोड़ बच्चे can't go to school, they don't go to school, and the majority of those are girls and women. So social change agar lana hai, let me conclude by saying there has to be radical change, not only by the government but by us in civil society, social sector. And there are excellent examples. There are so many people doing extraordinary work through NGOs, through civil society coalitions. एक से एक काम कर रहा है, बेशक उनको टीवी न्यूज चैनल्स पे नहीं दिखाया जाए और सोशल मीडिया पे भी उनकी कवरेज ना हो। डोंट बिकम प्रिजनर्स ऑफ न्यूज मीडिया, बिकॉज मीडिया की नौयत ये होती है कि वो पूरी हकीकत कभी नहीं बताएगी आपको। मीडिया का मतन हमेशा सिलेक्टिव होता है, सब्जेक्टिव होता है एंड सप्रेसिव होता है। अब जैसे ये कैमरा है, अब ये सिर्फ मुझ जैसे नालायक को दिखा रहा है, जबकि इतने दिलचस्प लोग यहां बैठे हैं, इनको तो दिखाई नहीं रहा। 200 साल के बाद जब कोई देखेगा वीडियो टेप कि ये क्या हुआ था यहाँ वाकया 2 सितंबर को, तो कहेंगे ये एक नालायक को ला दिया था स्टेज पर और पता नहीं ये किससे बात कर रहा था, क्योंकि दिस विल नेवर शो ईच फेस दैट इज प्रेजेंट हियर, इट कांट शो इट। So don't become prisoners of news media. Think of the totality, the holistic aspect of Pakistan, which with all its problems represents an extraordinary country, great people, and I wish Creative Headquarters all success in this very distinctive mission they've chosen for themselves, very charming, and thank you for keeping me away from the Pakistan versus India match. You have done me a great favor, but I will listen to Ms. Vikaji and then I will retreat to the company of my wife, who does not watch cricket, but she may be waiting for me. But thank you very much.